Hi everyone, it's Wanda with the Armchair Cat Advocate, and as you can see, we have Moosh. So, the first step of the mission is complete. I was able to get her. Um, it was exciting. So, I have this old carrier that a friend gave me, and it, well, here, let me actually show you. Okay, so here's the carrier that I have. And as you can see, um, it's seen better days. I don't even know if that's loose there. But we have it zip tied here. And what happened was these, let me show everyone. See, they don't, it's, they, you have to get those latched just right. Otherwise, what happens is the cat pushes it open and they get out. And that's exactly what happened with her. She was able to push it open and get out. And it was interesting. Okay, so I'll be honest, I do not want everyone to see my kitchen right now. It is a freaking mess in here. I can barely move. I have boxes that have to be recycled and should have been recycled last week, except that we had torrential rains and cardboard would have just gotten soaked and it would have just been a mess. And, you can't really put anything out, other than like your trash bags when you have those kind of rains. Plus, with the wind and stuff, it would have blown all over the place. So I have that. I have I have other things here. I have cleaning supplies. I have vet or, cat vet stuff, like medical supplies. That I have a whole bunch of stuff here. Like, I just got some new stuff. I'm trying to, since people are being really generous with the PayPal, I'm trying to restock my medicine chest for the cats. So I have like the Zymox, like the ear solution. I do have some other ear stuff from the rescue, but I like this stuff. It works really well. It worked well when I had Rogue. I have other things laying here on the countertop. I have stuff behind me. I have recycling things to go out. Now I have the crate up in the kitchen for her. And I have these boxes here that the cats play in that I think what I'm going to do is try to just put them in the other room. The back room's a complete and total disaster. It looks like a hoarder's nest back there. It's terrible. I'm still trying to figure out, it's like I had a lot of things packed up because I was planning on moving, and then that fell apart. So now it's like, okay, now I have to reorganize all over again. And I'm, in the middle of trying to get paperwork and stuff filled out for this car, and that's not going well. And there's other things that are just in complete and total chaos. But I just sent a text to Elsbeth just to let her know that the cat I sent her a picture and I said, here's the cat. She's, I got her. I got her. So if you come tomorrow, everything's okay. So she actually just texted me back and she said, oh, good. Yeah, good, because we're going to just get under the wire, I think, with this girl. She's like kind of almost napping right now. I'm imagining that it feels pretty nice to be in. She's, she's in it's quiet in here. It's warm. She has in her she has a soft little pad. My friend Susan had got me those pads. She actually got me those pads for the cats outside, but I discovered that they fit perfectly in the crate. So I use them when I have to keep a cat, for either like Valentino had to be confined in because of his pads, um, or if I just have to keep one like overnight for a rescue or for something like this, they work out really well. Um, and she has a litter box. I'll show you the little setup that I have. I don't have food and water, or I took the food away. I gave her just a little bit of kitten food and a little bit of chicken just to kind of calm her down, and also so that she knows that that is a safe place and associates it with something good. So I have some kitten food on hand just in case, I have to deal with a kitten. I always try to keep some kitten food on hand. So I gave her a can of kitten food and some cooked chicken. So she had that in the crate. So I think, she's calmed down. She knows me. It's not like one of the other cats that are really, well, I don't want to say that they're feral, but they're not socialized to me yet. They know, like Mark, the one with the tilted head. I don't know how he would do. Theon, I think, would probably be okay. Some of the other ones that are more, friendly, that have been here for a while and I can pet, and I don't know. I haven't tried to pick some of them up, but I can do a lot of things with them. So I'm not really worried about them so much. But if it was one that I haven't really worked with that much, I think it would have been a more bigger problem. But she's super friendly. I mean, you've seen from all the videos how friendly she is, and her brother is too. And maybe we'll have to get him next, because honestly, I think, I don't. I so here's the problem for me. I think she could be adopted. I think she could adjust to being indoors. Okay? I do think that. However, here's the caveat. And this is what a lot of people don't understand. Just because she's fine right now, just because she's calm right now, doesn't mean that this is how it would go if she was in another unfamiliar place with an unfamiliar person. That is the reality of it. When you're working with these cats, because you don't know, they're traumatized. They truly are. They have trauma, and traumatized people. I mean, I'm speaking from experience here. Trauma impacted person diagnosed with complex PTSD. I get it. You there's some people that I feel very comfortable with. I mean, you see me interact with them, and it looks, I look a certain way, I act a certain way. People think, wow, she's outgoing, she's this, that, and the other. But you put me in a different environment, and you'll see a completely different side. So I get it. And just because she's okay with me doesn't mean she'd be okay with someone else. That's my concern. I also don't like the trend. I mean, there's a trend now, and I understand why they're doing it. There's a lot of rescues that will let you try out a cat for like 2 weeks. I don't know. I mean, I get a lot of blowback when I question that, because the animal welfare people are like, well, it's working, and it's like studies show, and blah blah blah. I don't care what your studies show. I'm telling you, it's not going to be good for every animal. Just like, foster kids, they realized way too late that the foster care system is incredibly traumatizing and really hurts kids' mental health. A lot of overly diagnosed kids going through the system, where their core issue is trauma, PTSD. So when someone says that to me, like, oh, just, we'll put her on, it's like, no, I don't know that that's a good idea. Because you don't know what that person's, first of all, 2 weeks is not enough. 2 weeks is the honeymoon. That's the honeymoon phase for most people and animals. That's pretty much, been established throughout time that, like the first 2 weeks of anything, you're usually on your good behavior, you're trying your best. Everything's new, everything's different. You don't get a true reaction of what they're like. And like looking at her right now, oh, look at this wonderful little kitty. Look how sweet she is, and look how, but you don't know once she gets comfortable, once she gets used to her surroundings, what's she going to be like? That's why I wouldn't be comfortable letting a rescue place her unless I actually fostered her in this apartment for at least a month. At least a month. Just to see what her personality is going to be like, just to see what her triggers are going to be, just to see how obviously she gets along with other cats. She lives in a colony. But, are there going to be bathroom issues? I don't know. She's never been in before. I've never had a problem with a cat bringing them in. They generally know where to go. And I'll put like I have the Dr. Elsie's cat attract. It looks like ground up vegetation of a certain kind. The kind that Power Wheels would like to use when he was on streams. We'll leave it at that. Those who know what I'm talking about. So anyway, I don't see, and she's really quiet actually. I think she might be falling asleep. But I do want to put some revolution on her yet. I was going to give her, our friend Cat Mama had sent me these. They're off of the wish list. And I wanted them for situations like this where, I'm dealing with a cat that's more than likely infested, that this would knock it off quickly. But honestly, I don't know if she would eat it. I don't want to give her any more food right now. And I don't know if she would even eat it in the food. So I don't want to waste it. I don't want to waste it, number one. And number two, I just don't want to towel her and stuff it down her throat. I just don't want to do that to her right now. She's already had enough. She was a real good sport. I put her in this carrier. I took her up. I lugged her up the stairs, got her literally to the door, sat her down, and she blew out of there. And even then, she didn't run back down. She just ran to like the stairway, the top of the stairs, and just kind of looked at me like, what the hell were you just doing? What the hell was that? And I really didn't think I was going to get her again. I thought, well, there goes just my luck. We could try again next week, but they're going to be closed Monday, and she's getting bigger. I don't know how close she is. I want to get it done, ASAP. So I took it down again, and I took a plate of food down, and I talked nicely to her, and I said, please, I promise you, this is really going to be, when it's all said and done, you're going to be a happy kitty because you're never going to have to go through this again. And I was able to put, and she didn't struggle. She went right in and got her up and got her in, and, and that's enough, I think, to ask of her for one night. She's been very tolerant. I'm not pushing it. I am going to put that, but the revolution's easy. I just, give her a little on the neck, and that's it. That's it. She's like, I'm gonna show her to you in a minute here, because she's really she's stretching out now. I think I'm gonna put a couple little toys in there for her too. Hey baby, you're such a good girl. She is a good girl. She's a very good girl. She's a very good girl. I mean, I'd have no qualms about having her. It would break my heart. Okay? I'm going to be honest, because she's one of my special ones, you know. And she's one of the special ones because the story behind it. Her, last year, beginning of April, like literally, I think it was like the first day of April, I found a kitten that had gotten its head caught. And I've told this story before, but there are people that might not have heard it. The kitten had gotten its head caught in, you know, those plastic cups that have the dome lids that they put whipped cream in. Well, kitten, as kittens do, I guess either curious or was attracted by the smell of the milk or whatever was in there, got its head in the dome lid and couldn't get the head back out and suffocated. And when I found it, it was too late. And I still kick myself for that, because I'm like, I was late that night feeding. Because I was really exhausted, and I thought I'm just going to lay down for like an hour or so before I go down and take care of everybody. I mean, and I know. It's not my fault. I get it. But I still feel responsible because they're my colony and I'm supposed to be looking out for them. And I had no idea there were kittens. And then about, I don't know, 2 weeks later, Mrs. Sanford starts knocking at my door, bothering me again. Because she's like, Wanda, there's kittens on the other side. Oh my God, I want one. Will you help me catch one? I'm like, no. No. You don't take care of your dog. I'm the one who sat here for hours making calls to get vet care for your dog's abscess tooth and that growth on its butt and the fact that he wasn't neutered. She lets that dog, and I'm going to see the housing provider next week, so I'm going to talk to them a little bit about this. She routinely lets the dog out with no leash, no collar, just lets it out. I have, she's there, she is there, but she lets this dog out. The dog's walking around the alley. I've seen this dog almost get hit. I mean, I can more than one hand worth of times that dog has had close calls to the point that dog pretty much has 9 lives like a cat. And then she's down there cursing at the dog, calling him a dumbass. I'm like, no, he's not the dumbass. You're the dumbass because he's your responsibility. You should have him. I mean, if you want to let him off a leash in the courtyard where it's all closed up, because he's a big dog, he's not going to be able to get through the slats, of the gate, the spaces in between the bars of the gate. He's not going to be able to do that. A little dog could, like a Chihuahua or something could, but he can't. So he's still not supposed to be allowed to run loose, but if she's going to do that, it's better that she does it in the courtyard where everything's secure than letting him out in the parking lot alley where he's walking, he walks into the, and he's got that pit bull, like, kind of mentality, He walks in the middle of the street like, oh, what's that? Ooh, ooh. And here comes a car. And I'm like, I don't want to see it. I don't want to see it. Luckily, nothing bad happened. But should that person have a pet? I don't think so. I mean, it's one thing if somebody needs some support and some help, like if they need help with vet care, or maybe they need some support. Maybe they're disabled, they need help with, maybe they need help scooping out the litter or something like that. I mean, if somebody's willing to help so that they can have a pet, that's something different. But this is just irresponsibility. So, no, not going to help you catch a cat or a kitten, especially a kitten. And then she did end up getting a stray cat. And then she was trying to and I'm glad I didn't answer the phone because she kept calling me. And then after the fact, she said, "Oh, I'm trying to get hold of you because I want to know if I had some cat litter or something." I'm like, no, you're not getting cat litter. Go buy your own. I'm not a rescue here. I am not a rescue. I don't run a rescue out of my apartment. If you're going to go around, you don't want to say, if you want to go rescue stray cats, then you rescue stray cats and do it right. And this is the issue that like Dawn and I have with these people that call themselves, "Oh, I'm rescuing a cat." No, you're not. You're just making more problems for everybody. Stop. Just stop. No, she did find a home for the cat that she rescued, but she was going to try to keep it. And then she said, "Well, the dog didn't really like it." I'm like, "Of course the dog didn't like it. He's a 100-pound pit bull. You're in an apartment that's basically a studio apartment. It's cramped. She never should have been placed there anyway." And I told the housing provider that, she should be in a unit like I'm in. That's, neither here nor there. But anyway, I could see it going south. So, no, not giving you a kitten. So, it turned out that those kittens were Mushu and Yum Yum. And at that point, because I did try to access them, they were living, the house where the nice guy is, that is the mechanic, that's where he's at now. At that time, it was some other couple. It was a black couple that lived there with a little white dog. And I mean, they seemed okay as far as the cats were concerned and everything. But I tend not to, I don't want to draw attention to the colony, number one. And number two, you never know who you're dealing with. There's a lot of sketchy stuff that goes on in this neighborhood, and you never know. And I don't want to get myself in trouble. So I try to stay out of it. They were living underneath the steps, which is probably why Yum Yum lives under there now, because that's where he was when he was a baby. And then they moved to Shizuku. Actually was kind of like taking care of them, which was odd to me. I don't know if Shizuku was the father. I don't know. But he was very protective of the kittens. Like he was almost it was really strange. But he was very much like mothering them. That's the only word I can think of. And they were living in I have pictures. I'll have to pull them out and post them for everybody. They were living in a old shed full of trash and debris and mold and mildew and, ants and bugs and ugh. But they were living in there. And I couldn't get in because it was locked up, but it was falling apart, so the door was half off. I mean, so you could I could probably put part my upper torso I could fit in, but I couldn't get in the whole way because it wasn't the way you couldn't push it that you could get your whole body in. You could only get part of your body in. And because I'm short and everything, I was able to squeeze in a little bit, and get at least put some food in there for them. And that's how I started. And then I started trying to lure them out with the food and basically lure them over to get them over to the feeding station, which eventually happened. And then, from there, Yum Yum was friendly from day one. Moosh was, it was funny because Moosh was the one that was very timid and standoffish. And And then I started giving Yum Yum the squeeze up, the little squeezy tubes, the Delectables and the Churu and the Nulo. Every pet food brand has one of those little puree or pure yeah, the pat like the puree the pureed, that's the word, the pure, yeah, not parade, the pureed treat food, little squeezy tubes. And Yum Yum, Yum Yum liked them. And Moosh thought they smelled good too, but Moosh wouldn't come close. So I was like, okay, well, if you don't come close, you don't get them. Then eventually Moosh got up the courage to start, just taking a quick little lick and like, and then she stayed a little longer, and a little longer, and a little longer. And she became more and more friendly. And now she's, what? Where's she at? Oh, she's sleeping. Oh. So I'm going to show everybody Moosh, because she's really sweet right now. And this is one of the things, like, when you bring them in for the first time, kind of across the board, this is what they do. They just sleep. It's like, it's the first time that they actually can relax and sleep and not have to be on guard. They don't have to sleep with one eye open. So I'm gonna share this with you. You can see her in there. Let me see, I'll put this on here. There we go. Now you're gonna get reflection on her eyes because I put the light on, but you can see her. You can see she's stretched out. You can see she's stretched out. Here, take that off. Is that in your eyes, baby? Is that in your eyes? Pretty girl. You're a pretty girl, aren't you? Yes, you are. She says, I am a pretty girl. Look at me. We're going to get you all fixed up. She's so calm. You're a good girl. I think, if nothing else, I think I will be able to work with her, and eventually she'll get like Abra, where she'll be able to come in at least, out of the elements, which is what I, like to be able to do with all the friendlies. I don't know if she was she in her litter box? Did you? Oh, she was in there. Were you just investigating? Were you investigating, little Mushy girl? Yeah. I want to give her a little bit of a revolution, but I hate to disturb her. Maybe I'll just let her go. No, I actually should put it on her, so it starts to work. She's a good girl. Aren't you, Moosh? Yeah, she says I'm a good girl. Okay, everyone, I think I'm going to let her go. And I want to go and get the trap ready for tomorrow. Get that lined with some pee pads and such for her. And, that'll be, I don't know, maybe I'll just take her into the bathroom and shut the door, so if she freaks out or something when I try to get her in, she won't be running around the house. But yeah, she's a good girl. I don't think we'll have any problems. So she's on her way. So thanks everyone for all your support, and special thanks to Mark, because Mark donated the money to be able to get her done. So special shout out to him. I've held on to it, Mark. I still have it in the PayPal account, so thank you so much. And she's going to be so much happier after this is done. So I will give you an update probably well, it's 20 of 2 now, but probably before Elsbeth comes, I'll do a quick little video, and then we'll update you when I know anything. All right, everyone, thanks for your support. Stay safe, take care of your mental health. I'll see you in the next one. So bye for meow.